Never buy abilities. Armor is basically useless. It only wastes money.
It only wastes money. Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
What about like crouching toggle key? Should you turn that on so you're always crouching?
I just bind my crouch to mouse wheel down. Mouse wheel down might seem bad because like, what if you want to stay crouched? But hear me out. You'll be the fastest teabagger. It's a trade-off. Don't tell you about the secret elo system. Is that it's not based on wins. It's not even based on how many kills you get a game. It's based on TPM, and that's teabags per minute.
Alright, what the fuck is up, kiddos? It's XTR, and I am here to bring you a brand new video. This is a beginner guide, so if you are not a beginner, that doesn't mean click off, because you can probably learn something in this, but if you think you are the all-knowing god of Valorant, then by all means, go ahead and fucking leave. That, what you just heard, was actually a clip of Shroud himself telling you about the elo system in this game, and how you should actually be able to improve in that area. Now, before we get started, I just wanted to shout out my Twitch and Twitter, which I will be linking in the description. If I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm planning on starting to stream on Twitch, so go ahead and leave that a follow if you so please. We're gonna get started now. I'm not gonna waste your time with all this bullshit talk. We're just gonna get right into it, and I'm going to have timestamps in the description. Now, I'm going to assume that future me decided to actually record an introduction for this, so I'm gonna get started right now. So, starting off, the first things I want to cover are moving, shooting, moving while shooting, crouching, walking, walking and shooting. Those are the main parts for this segment of the video. So when you are moving in this game, the main thing with moving around the map is you want to play smart and you don't want to unnecessarily run into open corridors and die. You run faster with your knife out, and you can run even faster if you bunny hop, but bunny hopping is a completely different mechanic in this game, and I would probably explain that in a separate video. Now, when you are moving, you make very loud footsteps, and your enemies can hear that from a mile away. You are basically a horse walking around in a fucking city at night. Everyone's gonna hear you out their window, and they're gonna know exactly what the fuck you are doing. So if you don't want your presence known, don't sprint around the map. There are certain areas, like in your spawn, and in certain areas where all your teammates are running, or when you are on bomb sites, that you can run around. Just use judgment in situations like that, and just be aware that your footsteps are extremely fucking loud, and everyone can fucking hear them. Now, moving and shooting does not work. As you can see here, I am moving, I am shooting. My bullets are going nowhere that I want them to go. Now, if you hold the walk key, you can shoot pretty accurately for the most part, but spraying is going to be difficult, so you can tap and walk, but that's about it. Now, walking is good, you just don't want to walk everywhere that you fucking go, and when you are walking out into an open angle, you probably don't want to walk out into it because you will most likely die. Unless you know there is nobody there, then go ahead, by all means, fucking walk that shit. Crouching makes you the most accurate you can actually be in this game, as opposed to just standing normally or walking. Crouching has the most drastic effect on your recoil, but it also has the most drastic effect on your movement. Now, the thing with crouching is a lot of people, when they get into a gunfight, they'll spray and they'll instantly drop down. Now, this is okay to do, but once you get to the higher level, it's very bad, because a lot of players, what they will do is they will first aim for your head, and if you drop down, all they have to do is slowly lower their spray a little bit, and they get a free headshot off of that. So just know that being a consistent croucher is extremely dangerous in this game. If anyone has told you that crouching is the best way to get kills, shrug that shit off immediately. That is not true. Crouching is a bad habit if you do it way too much, so you need to use crouching sparingly. If you are extremely far away from somebody, and you are holding an angle, you can crouch and you can tap fire them. Or if you are playing on, let's say there's a player that's going to come from here, and you know he's going to come from here, and you don't want him to automatically get a headshot on you. So you know he's going to come from this right side, and you think his crosshair is going to come to your head when he walks around the corner, so you crouch and you wait here for him. And if he's pre-aiming the head level, you will have the jump on him, and you should be able to put him down pretty quick. So guidelines for moving and shooting: don't move and shoot unless you know how to properly strafe, in which case you can do it, but strafing is a somewhat difficult concept to grasp for newer players. I have a video released on that too. So with all of these things that I am saying and cannot explain in just this short video I'm trying to make, I will have a link in the description for said video. Now, the game starts off in a buy phase, and you have a buy phase for about 45 seconds, in which time you can go to bomb sites. And generally, you want to spread out your forces. You have 5 players, and you want, at least on this map, you're going to want 3 on A and 2 on B. And if they are leaning heavier towards B in a round or in a game, and you notice that, you can send 3 towards B at the start and 2 towards A. Now, you start in a pistol round, and generally, I would like to buy the Ghost and my utility, which are my flashbangs. So that's generally how I play a pistol round. You can play how you see fit. If you prefer to go for armor, that is okay. But note that the classic doesn't always one-shot headshot. So the classic, to the head, it only does 78 damage, which really isn't that good. You're going to have to land 2 headshots. So if you are trying to land headshots, then you should go for the Ghost. Without armor, they will die, unless they are over 30 to 50 meters away, which is pretty fucking far in this game. So the Ghost is a pretty solid bet on pistol rounds. If you are a cheeky fucking bastard, you can buy the Shorty and just sit at an angle, but I don't really recommend this, and I would recommend not buy the Sheriff at all in a pistol round, given it can be a 2-shot body shot, but you have to be pretty decent to land them, and it's really expensive. You can't buy any of your utility down here, which you see that I have, and you can't buy armor, and it's a very high risk weapon. And the thing is, if they notice you have a deagle and you get your couple shots off and they try pushing you, they're probably just going to kill you because you can't shoot them fast enough to the point where they're just going to walk in and headshot you. So just note that for pistol rounds. Once you win a pistol round, you have the option to either buy a Spectre or, say, a rifle. The Bulldog is a very good weapon. It's basically a variant of the FAMAS in Counter-Strike. Now, the Stinger is complete garbage. It only has 20 shots, and the inaccuracy is really bad. It goes all over the fucking place. So it doesn't really do that much damage, so I don't even recommend buying this weapon. You're better off with a Marshal or a Spectre. Now, the Marshal is a very good weapon. The Marshal, you can tag them up in the body for 101, so if they don't have armor, it is an instant kill. It's only 1,100, which lands it way cheaper than the Operator, which is a 150 body shot and is a much slower weapon. But given, the Operator is a way better weapon in general. The Scout or Marshal is very good in this game, as you can tag people up, and the fire rate is insane, plus you have no inaccuracy when you are hip firing it. It is perfectly accurate with the hip fire, which a lot of people don't know, so pick this up on anti-eco or eco rounds and you will set yourself up pretty good. Now, if you lose the pistol round, you have the option to full save, which is where you don't buy anything except for the essentials. I would recommend buying down to $2,000. So if you lose a pistol round, I believe you'll end up with 2,400 if I'm not mistaken. So I usually end up buying utility, and maybe I'll just play an angle with the Shorty, and that's pretty much it. Or if I really want to, I can buy down to 1,900, and I can have a Ghost, and I can go for headshots. So for buying, a typical full buy in this game is going to look like a Phantom or a Vandal with all of your utility and full armor. That's kind of the point of saving, is to get enough money to get all of these items so you can actually have them all at your disposal. If you're a beginner, I recommend using the Phantom as it's much easier to control. The Vandal is better. It has higher damage, but it has less rounds in the magazine. Personally, I prefer using the Phantom. It's a little easier to control, it feels a little less random, and there are 5 more rounds in the mag. So I prefer to use the Phantom because I like to spray a lot and I like the extra ammo, and I feel like it also feels cool as fuck when you're shooting it, so that's a plus. And the reload animation is sick. The goal of saving is to be able to purchase all of your abilities down here on the bottom, a automatic rifle, which can either be a Phantom, a Vandal, or a Guardian if you're good enough with it. And if you have enough money, you can buy an Operator. Now, if you want a teammate to drop you and you see they have enough money, on the left side of the screen you are going to see how much money everyone has, and say you don't have enough money to purchase anything, you can request something by right-clicking, and it will pop up on the left side for your teammates, and they can click something that says buy this for them. And it will pop up for you if someone is requesting. So just be aware of the amount of money you have, and if you have enough to spare for a teammate and he needs a weapon, buy it for him. The round is worth more than the fucking money you're saving by not buying him a weapon. Now, shields in this game are very important. The thing with shields, though, if you own, say, heavy shields and you miss, you lose 2 of your shields and it goes down to 48, it's going to flash red. So make sure you check how many shields you have before you replenish them, because a lot of the times I have bought shields when I'm only missing 2 and then I lose $1,000 for absolutely no fucking reason. The buy menu is kind of a Jew when it comes to shields. If you also happen to own heavy shields and like I said earlier, if you happen to buy only 2 shields, you cannot sell those 2 shields you bought. If you try selling it, it will sell all of your shields. Now, if you have heavy shields going into a round and you buy light shields thinking that it will add on, you're fucking wrong. It doesn't add on. It will take away all your heavy shields and you will be left with 25. So just keep that in mind. You will be paying to lower your shields half the times, which is pretty fucking stupid. I hope this gets changed soon. I really hope this gets changed soon because it is a stupid ass mechanic and I don't know if it's intentional for the shields to work this way, but it's stupid as fuck. So just note that with the shield. Now in this game, every character has utility, and utility is extremely important. It's important for getting through choke points, and it is important to pressure opponents. You have an ultimate which has charges, and you can pick up orbs around the map, which are black little balls. And so on this map, they are located right here, right on this ping, and right here. These are the 2 black orbs on this map, and note that once the spike is planted or the round has ended, you cannot pick these up. So ultimates are very strong in this game, and they can have a significant impact on the round. So play around your ultimates and know what they are. Pay attention to the enemy's ultimates, because if you press tab, it will show you what ultimates are up. And if you look in the top of my screen, I am highlighted in yellow, which means I have my ultimate. Utility is extremely useful. Like I said, say I'm trying to attack a site, and I know there are people here. One thing I can do is throw my flashbang and peek out, slowly move up, and I can throw a wall here. And that gives me free access all the way into this side of sight. We have gained full map control pretty much, me and my team. So this is the importance of utility. The enemy team is going to use a lot of utility, so you should as well. Learning how to use utility is extremely important, and learning the timings and when you should actually be using it is also very important as well. Don't just throw it all willy-nilly at the start of the round. If I'm defending and the round just starts, I'm not going to come up here and just throw a Molotov for absolutely no fucking reason. That's my only Molotov unless I get a kill, and it's not coming back anytime soon. So hold on to that until you know that there are people coming, and if you hear people or see someone, you can back up, you can throw a Molotov, maybe peek with a flash, communicating to your team that, hey, there's people here, I'm gonna flashbang, let's peek. Utility has a lot of uses. If they are pushing up to you, you can literally just wall this off, and you can take an angle here where you run over all the way over here, or you can back up into that building. It'll delay them for a little bit, and you will be able to reposition. So all of my abilities are very strong in not only delaying rounds, but they're good in pushing people out, they're good in buying yourself time, and they help you reposition, and they can also help you get kills if you use them well enough. So make sure to hold on to these and make sure you are buying them, because the reason you play the character is for the abilities. The abilities are extremely important in this game, and when you are in the character select, just try and make a team composition where all of the characters are complementing each other. So if I have no healer, I'm probably going to want some type of support, so I'm going to want a Cypher or a Sage. Cypher for the maybe intel of a cam, and Sage for the healing. One of the two could be good. Both are insanely good to have though, because they are both very high tier characters in this game. Now I'm going to go over economy just a little bit, and basically every round you will either lose the round or you will win the round. If you lose the round, you will get less money, but if you keep losing rounds, you will slowly build a loss bonus that goes up over times, and I believe it maxes out at 4 or 5 rounds. I'm not too certain on that, I can't tell you, but just pay attention to that. In the bottom right, when you win a game or when you win a round, I will put an example here, you will see how much you get, and it will also tell you, how much money you made from getting kills, it will tell you how much money you made in the round, and it will tell you your loss. If you defuse a spike, you will get an ultimate charge added on, so just keep that in mind. If you have an ultimate and your teammate is maybe 2 off and you know that you have time to defuse, bring your teammate over and have them defuse the spike, and it can give them an extra point. I don't think winning or losing a round gives you a point, but dying does. So with sounds, just know that not only do you make a really loud ass noise, but there are also sound cues around the map, such as teleporting and picking up these orbs. These will make a sound. Given some people, if they're really smart, will bait this. I do this a lot, where I just bait this and I will wait for them to peek, because it works on a lot of players. Just note that these sound cues are extremely important. They are vital to your gameplay, and you need to pay attention to them. If you hear a ton of utility being thrown in certain areas, you know that there are players there. If you hear utility being thrown, such as a Molotov, certain areas of the map, you will know that there are players there. Now, given some people do like to bait with utility to draw rotates from, say, A site to B site, but for the most part, if they are executing a site, there will be a lot of utility thrown, and that is when you generally will know that they are hitting a site. And if they don't follow through with the site, they will pull a fast play where they'll say just run straight back to A, which is why you need an anchor in some situations. So I'm going to go over that as well. If you see your entire team leave a site without the spike being spotted, or without actual any confirmation that they are going to the site, and your whole team is gone, and you suspect that there might be players still around B, you wait on B. You don't leave. You anchor site. This is called anchoring site, and this is extremely important. Because if say they're trying to fake A, and they draw all your teammates away, but you are still here, if you can just hide on site for long enough to the point where you can say, they're all coming over here, get the fuck back to B site, you can start pulling rotates back from your team to get back onto the site. And not only that, but if you play it smart enough, you can even kill the planter if they don't clear site well enough, or you can get 1 or 2 kills, or delay the bomb plant, or delay the round long enough to get your teammates back over here into a better position they would be in if they had to fully retake a site without someone inside of the site. You also have the option as an anchor to just wait until you know that there are people coming, and if you don't feel confident you can actually get the kills, you can fall off site, you can get to a better position, say B long over here, which is actually a very strong position to have, and you can just wait here and wait for your team to actually rotate. You can execute a retake with them. Just know that a lot of sound cues can be abused in this game, and people will do that. But generally, at the base level of things, if you're at a lower skill group, then they will not be baiting stuff. If you hear sound cues, it's generally just going to be a full-out hit. So if you enjoyed that video, go ahead and leave a like. If you learned anything from this video at all, I'm glad you clicked on it, but if not, I am sorry that this 16-minute essay I decided to post did not educate you whatsoever. Now, I am taking suggestions like I stated in the last video, so go ahead and leave those in the comments, and I will try to respond to as many as I can. I really appreciate your guys' suggestions. Now, I was actually thinking about posting 10-man footage where I get into a lobby with some other players and we play a 10-man, and I was wondering if any subscribers here would be interested in actually watching that, because I don't want to post something that is just going to be mind-numbingly boring and nobody actually wants to see.